And now, for fans of the most exciting sport in the world, the MMA Live Chat Hour. Listen up and find out what's happening in the world of MMA. Hello and welcome to the MMA Live Chat Hour. I'm Rich Davie and it's Sunday, January 26, 2014. The day after the UFC on Fox 10 Benson Henderson versus Josh Thompson event. On today's show, we'll be discussing the UFC on Fox 10 Benson Henderson versus Josh Thompson event, our predictions for the event that we gave on the last show, the of the night bonuses that were awarded, the news that Ariel Helwani is out at Fox due to some sort of issues between DFW and Lorenzo, and more than likely we'll talk about a couple of other MMA topics as well in the final thoughts segment. On today's show we have yours truly, Wes Fiorentino, Damon Gazelle, and Sugar Pooper. Thanks for taking part in the show, guys. I appreciate you all taking the time to be here and joining me for another round of discussion on MMA and post-event discussion. Go ahead and say hello to anybody that might be listening.
What's up, fight fans?
What's up, fight fans?
Hey, what's up, guys?
Okay, guys, thanks again for showing up. I appreciate it. We're supposed to have a couple more guys show up. I think 2 or 3 more, but apparently they couldn't make it. So, round 2 of the second season of prediction shows that we've been doing is in the books, and we'll recap how Wes, Damon, Sugar, David, and Alex did, as well as how I did in round 2 of the fight predictions. But first, this is how we score the results of the predictions. Recapping the scoring system: if you pick the correct fighter but don't get the correct method or round, you earn 4 points. If you pick the correct fighter and method, or the correct fighter and round, you earn 7 points. If you pick the correct fighter, round, and method, or correctly call the winner by decision, you earn 10 points. Okay, here's how the guys on the last show did with their predictions. Sugar, Wes, and Rich went 5-1 with their picks. Damon and David went 4-2 with their picks. And Alex went 3-3 with his picks. Okay, in first place from round 2, we've got Sugar. He went 5-1 with 47 points out of 60. Second place, Wes Fiorentino went 5-1 with 35 points out of 60. Third place, Damon Gazelle went 4-2 with 28 points out of 60. Fourth place, David Petruic went 4-2 with 28 points out of 60. Fifth place, Alex Schlinsky went 3-3 with 27 points out of 60. And Rich Davie went 5-1 with 26 points out of 60. So even though I did 5-1, 26 points is dreadful because I had a lot of decision picks and picks that wound up not being correct with the method and round. All right, so with that being said, congrats to Sugar for kicking ass like that.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, man, you did great, man. And then, overall, here's how things look after 2 rounds of predictions. Even with that dreadful finish, I still managed to stay in first place. Rich Davie is now 10-3 with 67 points out of 130. Second place, Wes Fiorentino is now 9-4 with 63 points out of 130. Third place, Damon Gazelle is now 8-5 with 59 points out of 130. Fourth place, David Petruic is now 7-6 with 52 points out of 130. Fifth place, Sugar Pooper is now 5-1 with 47 points out of 60. And in sixth place, Alex Schlinsky is now 3-3 with 27 points out of 60. Damn, Sugar. You missed the first round, but you're right on David's tail.
That's good to hear.
Okay, so let's get started with the event from last night, the UFC on Fox 10, Benson Henderson versus Josh Thompson. All right, Benson Henderson versus Josh Thompson, the main event. it looks like Josh Thompson broke his thumb in the first round, and that seemed to impede his performance a bit. There was also some controversy. A lot of people weren't happy with the scoring on that one. The FW was not happy with the scoring in that one. And I don't know. I'm seeing, lots of back and forth because, I went out and I looked after the fight because a lot of people were complaining about the scores. But I went and looked at MMA Junkie, and they actually scored it, 49-46 for Henderson. I went to MMA Weekly. They also scored it 49-46 for Henderson. I believe Sherdog, according to Wes, saw it the opposite way. Is that how it was, Wes?
They had it 49-46 Thompson.
Yeah, so...
At least on the play-by-play.
Yeah, really odd the way that everybody scores the fight so differently when you can see one guy winning 4-1 and then, somebody else sees it totally opposite the other way. But it probably lies somewhere in the middle. I myself scored it 49-46 Henderson, but I could see round 2 going to Josh Thompson. How did you guys see it?
Well, I honestly initially scored it 48-47 for Henderson, but round 2 I thought was unequivocally a Thompson round, and rounds 4 and 5 easily could have gone Thompson's way. It was a really close fight. I just really didn't see any, I didn't see any consistent offense from Henderson, I thought Thompson, even with a broken hand, was able to out-grapple him for a large portion of the fight, and just punching him in the face with his broken hand.
Yeah, it turned out not to be a broken hand. It was a broken thumb.
Broken thumb, pardon me, yeah.
Yeah. But did you guys watch the post-fight presser?
Yeah.
I did not.
Yeah, he was saying that every time he went to use his hand or, grab or strike, his thumb was bending all the way back.
Oh.
No.
I also went to Fight Metric, guys, and I'm looking at the numbers in Fight Metric, and I don't know, man. Round 1. Significant strikes, 1 for each man. 1 for 6 for Henderson, 1 for 2 for Thompson. Total strikes, 8 of 15 for Henderson, 7 of 10 for Thompson.
That's because Thompson was on his back the whole time.
Takedowns, 1 of 1 for Henderson, 1 of 2 for Thompson. So, a bit deceiving, man. I definitely gave round 1 to Thompson.
Yeah, you can't follow the stat line there, you know what I mean? I mean, what did Thompson do with his takedown, and what did Benson do with his, right? Thompson was on his back practically the entire round.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying those numbers are deceiving because I clearly gave round 1
Very,
to Thompson.
yeah.
I guess all of you did as well.
I think it was pretty clear round for Thompson.
Yeah. Okay, and then round 2 I thought started out pretty much the same way as round 1. And I was actually leaning towards Thompson until the latter part of the round there. And again, the numbers there, 11 of 24 significant strikes for Henderson, 6 of 15 for Thompson. Total strikes, 18 of 32 for Henderson, 7 of 16 for Thompson. Takedowns, none by Henderson, and 1 of 2 for Thompson. So, again, is it the perception? Because Thompson seemed to be more aggressive straight away, or what do you guys think?
Well, Thompson was not only taking him down, but he was taking him down with authority, I mean, he picked him up a couple times, dragged him to the ground. Later in the fight, he dumped him on his head. In the last round, he caught his kick and basically threw him across the cage. He broken thumb or no broken thumb, he was still there to fight.
Yeah.
How did you guys see round 2?
I thought it was very close, but I called it a Thompson round.
Yeah, I called it a Thompson round too. And I think the grappling won him that one actually as well was the first.
Sugar?
I actually only watched the first 3 rounds because I had a hockey game to watch, but I gave the first 2 rounds to Thompson, and then the 3rd round to Bendo for sure.
Yeah, like I said, I initially gave round 2 to Henderson, but I can see the argument being made for Thompson. But again, like I said, it seemed like after it went on into the round there, Henderson was making a bit of a comeback because he did say in the post-fight presser that he noticed that there was something wrong with Thompson's hand, so he was attacking that, and he seemed to take advantage of it, in my opinion. But
Yeah, I scored rounds 1, 2, and 4 for Henderson or for Thompson, and that round 4 at the end, that was awesome when he had his back and he put his thumb up in the air or whatever, and he pulled Henderson back on his back right at the end of the round and stuff. That one definitely had to have been Thompson.
Thompson knows how to get the crowd involved. That's for sure.
Yeah, exactly.
Seen his fights with Gilbert Melendez as well.
yeah, MMA Junkie disagrees with that. Let me read to you what MMA Junkie had for round 4. Body kick from Henderson opens the 4th round, but Thompson catches it, walks through it. Henderson will stalk him down a bit here, and he kicks to the leg. But Thompson gets a takedown right in the center of the cage. He lands a few punches with his broken right hand. Henderson tries to box the ears from his back. Henderson recovers to full guard after a sketchy moment. He traps Thompson's left arm, and he'll look for a possible triangle choke. But Thompson works his way out. Henderson powers back to his feet and gets his own takedown with half of the round left, and he'll work on elbows. Thompson gets back to his feet, but Henderson kicks him repeatedly to the back of his legs. Henderson lands a short elbow and breaks away. Thompson takes a long look at the clock and sees 90 seconds left and keeps on going. With 45 seconds left, Thompson ducks under a punch and gets another takedown. He takes Henderson's back again with a body triangle. Henderson gets to his feet and fixes his hair as he walks over to the fence. Thompson stays on his back and tries to rile up the crowd. And then MMA Junkie scores the round 10-9 Henderson. Yeah, so I thought that was a little silly with the fucking the hair move there. I mean, Jesus Christ, do something with your fucking hair.
Yeah. That's what happens
Well,
when you have
he
long
braided
hair,
his hair for his loss. He braided his hair for his loss. I think he's like a superstitious guy, and he's never going to do that again.
Oh, is that what it was?
No, it's
Yep.
a good thing he had that hair done up like that when he got dropped on his head in the first.
Yeah.
So do you guys disagree with that assessment from MMA Junkie?
For round 4? Absolutely, yeah. I think that was a pretty clear 10-9 Thompson round.
They had it for Henderson, but yeah, the
I
way
initially
the
scored
work
it
came
first.
out, their play-by-play doesn't necessarily dictate how much of the round was controlled by whichever fighter. But Thompson was on top, even though Henderson was holding him in his guard. For a lot of that round, Thompson was on top, trying to do something. I mean, there wasn't much going on there. I mean, that one could be a 50-50 control. I mean.
Yeah. I just want to clarify. I actually
one
initially scored
one
that round
guy's on
for,
top, and the other's trying to keep him from advancing. So it's.
I don't know, guys. Again, I mean, I see what you guys are saying, but I totally disagree because, again, looking at the numbers, it's something totally different from what everybody wants to say. Henderson 6 out of 10 significant strikes, Thompson 2 of 11.
I don't really disagree with their. I mean, pardon me. I don't really necessarily agree with their definition of significant strikes.
Exactly.
I don't think Henderson landed anything significant.
Well, how significant
of
a strike can you throw if you've got a broken thumb and you're just basically? To me, that's what it looked like. It looked to me like his strikes weren't significant, and what he was throwing was just contact punches that really didn't have any effect on him.
Yeah, but
I don't think Henderson landed one single significant strike in the entire fight.
Yeah, what were his significant strikes? Those little kicks to the back of the calves. I mean,
yeah,
they didn't look like they were.
I'm not sure they're not counting those significant strikes. I mean, total strikes for Henderson in round 4, 41 of 45, and for Thompson, 8 of 18. So, I don't know, guys.
Yeah, it's the significant strikes that always gets me because I wonder what they consider significant strikes.
That, and you just can't always go by the numbers, especially in a fight like this, because.
Yeah, but come on, guys. 41 of 45 versus 8 of 18. Come on.
Yeah, but that's like less than half the fight because most of the fight was a grappling match, which Thompson clearly won.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you're not doing anything on the ground, the rule in MMA is if there's nothing happening.
He was threatening. He took his back several times. He went for the choke several times. He was on top. He landed strikes on top. I just really don't see what Henderson really did offensively to win this fight.
41 out of 45.
Aggression as well.
41 out of 45 total strikes. versus
Yeah, but that's
8 out of
only
18.
a number, though. You know what I mean? What of those strikes ever came like? None of those strikes ever came close
Right,
to hurting
so what we're
Thompson.
saying is you're giving more credence towards pressure and aggression rather than effectiveness.
Well, they
Not
obviously
necessarily.
weren't
In this case,
effective because he didn't do anything
Yeah.
to him.
I don't think Henderson really did anything effective.
41 of 45. How do you argue with that?
That's just a number. I mean, where were the strikes?
No, this isn't boxing,
Numbers don't tell the whole story.
Yeah, but you can't just say because a guy was aggressive he wins the fight.
No, but I mean, I think
that's
Thompson
part
was
of the
just as
scoring.
effective.
That's part of the scoring,
I mean,
It's only part of the
what did
scoring if
Henderson
there's
do?
nothing else being scored, fellas. The rule is if there's no scoring taking place, meaning no strikes, that are effective, then you fall back to those other measures of, the criteria for scoring the fight. Aggression, control, things like that. But
I think that all comes into play.
I think, well,
it doesn't.
one, I think
It
that
doesn't.
I think
If you read the rules, it doesn't. Those
Well,
are
I don't think the
secondary. Those are
judges
secondary.
well, one, aggression is only effective if you're actually doing something, right? Moving forward is not effective, which Henderson did a lot of. He did a lot of moving forward without landing any strikes, without going for any kind of clinch work. And I mean, let's be honest. Every time he actually opened up for a striking exchange, he got hit just as many times. I mean, sure, he may have landed more strikes, but I mean, nothing hurt Thompson, right? Nothing had Thompson ever on the ropes.
Well, I don't know. The official stat keeper for the UFC seems to disagree with all of you fellas.
Well,
Yeah,
stat keeper. I mean, if you land that many strikes, you landed that many strikes. But how many strikes you land doesn't really matter, right? I mean, unless you're knocking the guy out.
Because Thompson was ineffective trying to throw strikes. Yeah, he was putting pressure on and aggression, but it wasn't
Would you
effective.
guys agree that Henderson was the more active fighter?
Not
No.
necessarily. I mean, he might have been more active, but he wasn't more effective. I mean, active is only active, right? I mean, if you're more active, if you throw 10 jabs and one guy throws one left hook and he knocks you out, how active, how much does that
You guys are
matter?
saying Henderson wasn't significant, but at the same time, Henderson didn't look like he was in a fight after the post-fight presser. When Thompson, he was like all scratched up and beat up from.
Yep.
Yeah, but you can't go by that because
Yeah,
if
how many
you went
times have
by
you seen
that,
how many
John
times have you
Jones
seen
would have
GSP's face
lost,
look like that?
and
Well, John Jones did lose. He was gifted that fucking fight.
yeah, and GSP would have lost as well.
Yeah, what about every
on
single
the
fight that
judges'
GSP's in?
card? On the
No,
judges' cards, I mean.
Yeah, that's why I haven't commented much because, like I said, I missed the last 4 and 5 rounds. But
And listen to the overall numbers, fellas. Significant strikes, 46 of 91 for Henderson, 19 of 58 for Thompson. 114 total strikes out of 166 for Henderson, 33 out of 75. Takedowns, each man had 4. So,
Yeah, but again, you have to look at what each guy did with his takedowns, right? Thompson was way
Exactly.
more effective on the ground. He took his back several times. He went for submissions, right?
I don't know. I guess I'm just a guy who looks at, and again, from what I saw live, because I'm scoring these things live, I know you guys were saying, oh, well, where did we, do this and that? Well, on the site where we do the prediction contest, we have a live discussion thread, and we chat about things in there, and we do it in real time. So, I'm not saying just because I'm seeing the numbers here and I picked my scores for each round based on what I'm seeing here because I gave those real time, and now that I'm looking at this kind of supports what I was seeing live. So I don't know. I didn't have a chance to go back and rewatch it, but maybe I would change my mind and give another round to Thompson. But
Well, actually, as I tweeted earlier, rewatching fights is great for us, but judges only get to watch it once, right? I mean, you're saying numbers, but the judges don't get to look at numbers, right? I mean, what out of any of those 40-something strikes that Henderson landed, did any of those tell you that he was close anywhere near finishing that fight?
no, but apparently it was a point fight is what I'm driving at.
Well,
obviously
there
because it
was
went to a decision, but I mean, numbers, like I said, judges don't have the numbers.
There was a lot of
Right,
fighters
but-
too. There was a lot of fighters on Twitter last night as well, siding with Thompson for the fight. And these are fighters. These are guys that know the game. They they're in it. And
I didn't see
for
any. Who?
Hendo gave fights.
Quite a few. I
rounds
retweeted
1, 2,
several of them actually.
yeah, there was
How come
quite
I
a
missed
few.
all of that shit? I didn't see any of that. I missed all of that.
Tim Kennedy
there was
one.
Yeah, Tim Kennedy. There was quite a few.
Right? Is there any sort of affiliation with Thompson with those guys?
I think they're both from California. That's about it.
Yeah, it's pretty affiliated.
as far as I know.
There were others too. I mean, I would have to go back in the Twitter feed to see them, but there was, I was pretty much seeing almost most people on Twitter last night were scoring the fight for Thompson. I didn't see a whole bunch scoring it for Henderson.
Yeah, well, I don't give Sherdog much credence. I prefer MMA Junkie and MMA Weekly over Sherdog. So,
I actually disagree. I think Sherdog's very. I think they're very accurate a lot of the time, especially Jordan Breen. I think he's very good.
yeah, not a fan of those people over there.
And I mean, there's plenty of sites too, though, that not only. I mean, even Dana White, wasn't happy with the outcome.
Well, again, Dana White doesn't like the grinder type of fighters, But
Thompson was doing most of the grinding, really.
But
yeah.
But DFW also, when I don't know if you guys saw the post-fight interview that was done with Megan, but you could see he was upset with the scoring, but he did not say how he scored the fight. So
no.
I guess maybe somebody must have told him, "Hey, man, chill out a bit with how you berate people at the end of the fight."
Yeah, after that last one.
Shades of GSP come to mind.
Exactly. Okay, and who was it that said they saw the post-fight presser?
Me.
Yeah, I watched it again this morning.
I thought you were watching a hockey game. How'd you miss the last 2 rounds but caught the presser?
This morning.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I watched it again this morning myself.
No, I might have to watch it.
Thompson was noticeably irritated at the post-fight presser, and he commented that that might be his last fight, and he repeatedly said, "This might be it." He feels like he was robbed, and he was pretty disgusted, saying that, I saw another title shot fucking slip away. So
yeah,
he might be throwing in the towel, but I think that would be silly.
Well, he's been fighting for 15 years. He's no spring chicken.
Yeah, but DFW was even, along, with the fact that the scoring wasn't good, and I don't think he's going to be penalized for losing that.
Well, he's certainly not going to give him a title shot, though.
No.
I don't think Henderson should get it either, though.
No, I don't think so either, but he probably will.
I was expecting much more fireworks in that, and maybe if Thompson hadn't broken his thumb, it would have been a lot more interesting.
And Ben Henderson was he looked complacent in most of that fight. Did he really go for the kill when he found out Thompson was hurt? Didn't look that way to me at all.
Well, that's what it said. It looked like simply a point fight. When he realized that he could win by pointing, that's what he did.
And he became the safe fighter that I've said he's become.
Yep. You did say that, didn't you?
Yep. And it's sad too. I mean, he was such an amazing guy to watch for a while, and then once he got that belt, he just you might say it's the smarter fighter. Yeah, that it is smart to go out there and get the win, but I mean, for a fan's perspective, I mean, I don't like it.
I agree with you. I actually was expecting the more aggressive Benson Henderson to show up, which is why when we were talking about who are we going to pick for fight of the night, I thought that may have a chance to be it. But Jesus, man, after watching that, not real exciting.
Yeah. Far from it.
Yeah. All right. So, any other comments on that one, fellas?
I was just looking and seeing on MMA Mania the fight metric actually reports the scores as the fight as a draw.
I mean, it was pretty close to a draw.
Oh, really? Was there a fight metric widget out for that?
Yeah. It's let me see.
Oh, yeah. I didn't see the widget. I just was looking at the numbers.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm not going to look now.
Okay.
Any other comments on that?
No.
Not at the moment.
Okay. Being that we all, in fact, scored the same thing on that one, we all went with Benson Henderson by decision, and we all got 10 points. Okay, let's move on to fight number Gabriel Gonzaga versus Stipe Miocic. Stipe Miocic wins by unanimous decision with the scorecards reading 30-27, 30-27, and 29-28. What did you think of that one, guys?
Good fight. It wasn't, they're heavyweights. It was slow, but it was a pretty good fight. I mean, Gonzaga, he tired out
I thought he looked like shit. I mean, after the first round, he was done for because I think it was that 1-2 and then the leg kicks and everything that Stipe was doing was, man, he was putting it on him.
Yeah, that's what I was watching
I actually thought,
Stipe, and that's what I liked about the fight was seeing his boxing. I really like his boxing, and he was showing it quite well against Gabriel Gonzaga, and Gonzaga he was getting shots in. I mean, but Stipe was
getting
taking
big shots in.
Yeah, and Stipe
I
was.
thought.
Go ahead.
Sorry, I thought Stipe could have been a little more aggressive with his 1-2s, and especially some leg kicks. I mean, he started throwing some leg kicks of his own a little later, but I mean, if he had started doing that a little earlier, I feel like he probably would have taken many fewer shots and probably would have finished the fight.
Yeah,
I would have liked to
I
have
agree.
commit more to his jab.
Yeah, I agree with you because
I
I,
think he
I
held
also thought that once he had Gonzaga hurt a couple times, he didn't take advantage of him. Like, what the fuck, man? Go in for the kill.
Yeah, but it is heavyweights, and it's that one shot. You know, I mean,
Yeah, Gonzaga's been known to throw a wild one and take somebody out.
He did catch him with a big overhand at one point.
Yeah, he looked like
Stipe.
Chuck Liddell throwing that punch last night, didn't
he? Yeah.
Yeah. Not nearly as effective.
No.
Well, about as effective as Chuck Liddell is against a guy who throws straight punches, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it really showcased. God, I can't think of the guy's name. Miocic's boxing in the match. You know, I like that. That's the type of fight I like seeing to gauge the fighters. You know, seeing that boxing, he's not at JDS's range. You know, in boxing, I think JDS is way superior in the boxing, but that is a fight I would like to see in the future. Is Miocic versus JDS to see whose boxing would come out on top. I think JDS would, but I think that would be a great fight.
I'd like to see that too, but I'd like to see Travis Brown versus Miocic as well.
I think Travis Brown's going to get a title shot, and I think that if the UFC wants Miocic to get a title shot at any point, they're not going to put him against JDS.
Yeah.
I think JDS would win that fight handily.
Agreed.
Yeah, I was really surprised that. Go ahead.
Yeah, this fight reminded me a lot of the Roy Nelson win he just got a couple months ago. I mean, last year. It was a boxing clinic on Miocic's part.
I agree.
Yeah.
Roy Nelson also has a good chin. That's more understandable. I feel like he probably could have finished Gonzaga if he was a little more aggressive.
Well, his ground and pound seemed legit. I don't think he was coasting.
I think, I mean, they almost could have called that in the third with the ground and pound.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm surprised they didn't.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Gonzaga was really out or, you know, at any point.
He wasn't. I mean, a lot of those strikes were getting through. I mean, I've seen fights called for less.
Yeah, I don't like those kinds of stoppages. You have to put a guy away. Don't stop it. You know what I mean? As long as the fighter's conscious, you can't stop the fight.
Yeah, I agree, but, you know, with heavyweights, I mean, one big shot, you know, can rattle somebody's brain. It's like why I don't want to see JDS fight Kane again. You know, I don't want the guy becoming paraplegic, you know, because if you watch those last two fights, JDS just looks like the dude's been hit by a truck.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
I don't think it's a smart idea to put him up against Kane again.
You don't want Cain Velasquez mad at you. That's the last person in the world you want mad at you.
Exactly. And JDS, I mean, dude looks like he's been through a meat grinder. You know, the last two fights.
That second fight, oh my God, his face was just like,
that was dreadful, man. I felt bad for the guy. I was like, please stop this fight, you know?
Exactly. I can't see them putting JDS up against Kane again. That, you know, that
might be death.
Exactly.
That's why I don't think they'll put Miocic against JDS.
I'd actually be afraid to watch that fight.
Yeah.
Because I like JDS. He's a good guy.
Yeah, right?
I was really surprised that Stipe didn't utilize that big reach that he had more effectively than he did. I mean, he kept, you know, getting too close to Gonzaga, who was clearly the much shorter man with a significantly shorter reach.
But those power shots, you know, I think he was, you know, worried about those. I mean, yeah, he got tagged by a couple of them that probably backed him up, you know, and made it that way.
And I kept waiting for him to throw an uppercut. I'm like, Jesus, man, look, there's an uppercut waiting to be thrown there.
Yeah, I was feeling the same way because I had picked him around 2 TKO. And I'm like, come on, dude, you got him. Finish
Yeah,
this. But
yeah. It's funny though. He didn't use his reach really that much. I mean, like I said, his jab, his straight right. Like he didn't commit to them consistently, or at
no,
least not till the end of the fight, where it
no,
was
he
kind of
didn't
like,
have a
okay,
lot of
I'd
combinations
like to
set
see
up.
that the whole fight.
So how did
You
you all
know,
score that one?
30-27,
yeah,
Miocic.
yeah, definitely.
The first round was kind of close though. I mean, it could have been a 29-28, but I scored a 30-27.
I
Yeah, I
think I
think
scored a 29-28 for Stipe.
I scored it 30-27. I think Miocic did enough jabs and everything else to counter just the one shot bombs that Gonzaga was getting,
Yeah.
and Gonzaga had what, one takedown I believe in the first,
Yeah.
but Stipe got right back up. I mean, takedown unless there's something done on the ground, I don't think it really should
No, if
count
you get up
too
fast like
terribly
that, yeah,
much.
no.
It was, I mean, it could have been a 29-20, 27 match, but or 29-28, but I give it a 30-27. I thought Stipe did just enough to take the first round.
Yeah, I went here. I'm just pulling up my play-by-play and my scoring in real time. When I had round one, Miocic. It was a close round I put, and it looked like he continued outpointing him. Round two, 10-9 Miocic. And yeah, I went 30-27 too.
I thought you said 29-28.
Yeah, I thought you did too.
Yeah, that's what I thought I scored. Jeez, I can't remember.
You sure you were just watching the fights last night?
No, well, I mean, Jesus, man. I mean, I'm constantly getting contacted on Twitter
Yeah.
and Facebook, and this one's, joining me, and that one's tweeting me out, and it's like, holy shit, trying to keep up with all that, and trying to keep score for the show, and it's
Yeah,
just
the battery on my
mind-boggling, man, when you're multitasking on that level.
the battery on my tablet died right after the fights last
Yeah, my
night.
phone is going off. My because I keep multiple windows open on the machine. My computer's going crazy with tweets. My phone is going crazy with tweets and people contacting me by DM, and it becomes mind-boggling.
Yeah,
Oh,
I was trying to
I
stay
know the
away
feeling.
from Twitter a little bit while the fights were on, at least.
Okay, Sugar,
Yeah.
how'd you score that one?
29-28.
What
Miocic.
round did you give Gonzaga?
The first.
The first?
Yeah.
Interesting numbers here, and that would support what you're saying there. Again,
Well, yeah, I think
I'm the numbers guy here.
I think the overhead rights looked pretty significant, and of course the takedown, even though Miocic got right back up, that's what I gave him. But
Yeah, well, the numbers support your argument for giving Gonzaga round one. 17-36 for Gonzaga, 11-43 for Stipe. Total strikes 17-36, 11-43. So I don't understand how they're saying significant strikes and total strikes are the same. So apparently there was no regular strikes.
I think Miocic was also controlling the pace of the fight.
He was, yeah.
So I think that's what gives him the nod in that round.
Oh yeah, and then round 2 and 3 was just
all Stipe. Yeah.
Yeah. Any other comments on that one, fellas?
No, I thought that was pretty straightforward.
Sorry about your pick, Sugar.
Oh yeah, this is the only one I got wrong, huh?
Yeah, no.
Yeah. All right, let me recap how we all did on our picks. Wes went with Stipe by KO and 2. He got 4. Damon went the same way. He got 4. David went with Stipe by decision. He got 10. I went with Stipe by TKO and 2, 4. Sugar and Alex both went with Gonzaga and got 0.
But David didn't show up for the show, so his points are revoked, right?
Yeah, we should probably take that off since he didn't show up for the show. So let's give him a 0 for that.
And Alex needs to go negative for commenting that how you can bet against Gonzaga, how anybody can bet against Gonzaga. He's only been in the octagon for so many amount of minutes in his last 3 fights. When the first fight of those 3 fights was an actual knockout that he had suffered. You know, the final his last 2 fights were knockouts in the first, but the first one he got knocked out.
Yeah, and that might have been a detriment to him because you could see after that first round he just was not all there.
Yeah, that's sort of a heavyweight thing too. It's all the danger of a heavyweight fight.
Yeah,
guys gassing like that.
Yeah, he was going for the first round knockout and gassed himself out.
Certainly did.
He probably knew he was going to gas. That's why.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, I'm going to throw it over to Wes for the next fight.
Yeah, so next we had Donald Cerrone versus Adriano Martins. Pretty brutal first round knockout, head kick by Donald Cerrone. What do you guys think about that?
I loved the sportsmanship. Cerrone, he noticed that he was out and he went down and he didn't follow through with another punch. You know, he let the ref push him off and he, you know, got up and walked away with the win. You know, that kick was came out of nowhere. My brother, we were watching it, and he had turned around and wasn't paying attention. All of a sudden, bam! That's MMA, man.
That's how it happens.
You can't turn your back on that television. Once you do, you're gonna miss something.
What about you, Sugar?
Yeah, I think I was the only one to pick him by KO in the first, because I think we all picked him, if I'm not mistaken. But
we did not. Oh, yes, we did.
Yeah, so nobody picked Martins. But yeah, I thought it was really impressive. I kind of, you know, Cowboy comes out in the first, you know, guns blazing, and that's how he went. And I think I want to see him up against like maybe Khabib, Nurmagomedov or whatever. I want to see him up against I want to see him up against like the top 5 again. I want to see this guy. No more bums, if you know what I mean.
He wasn't fighting a bum. I mean, the guy was looking good until he got knocked out.
No, I mean like people in his caliber though. I don't mean to disrespect Martins. I know he's an accomplished black belt.
I know you, man.
Yeah. Just like people on his level.
Yeah, I agree with Damon, man. I wasn't expecting it to be that close of a fight. Honestly.
Yeah, I think without the knockout, I think we would have seen. I mean, because Martins was. I mean, he was catching Cerrone, you know, as well. I mean, it was a close
Cerrone's
fight.
never had the best defense.
Yeah, but it was a close fight up until that actually neck kick. But up until then, you know, up until then, it was a pretty balanced match, and I expect to see some good stuff from Martins in the UFC.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, like I said, I didn't really expect it to be as close of a fight as it was in that first round there, but I'm kind of glad that Cerrone came away with a win like that. Good to see him returning. He's saying now that he wants to have 6 fights within a year. He mentioned that in the post-fight presser. So
that's a tall order.
He's had 2 really good fights in a row. You know, I mean, with Cerrone, it's what mindset he comes in with. You know, if he comes in with the right mindset, the guy can win like almost every fight. But if he doesn't have it, like the Diaz fight, I mean, it was like, where the hell is Cerrone? He's not even in the fight. What the hell is? I did not expect that. It didn't even look like Cerrone in that fight.
Did you guys see the pre-fight comment where Donald Cerrone was saying that he had no idea who Adriano Martins was?
Yeah, and what did I tell you, Rich? I told you that was a bit of a trash talk tactic. I mean, obviously he knows who he is.
Yeah, that had to be bullshit.
I'm sure he knows who he is now. I'm sure he felt those punches. I'm sure he's glad he got the knockout, but I'm sure he felt I'm sure he feels if he didn't get that knockout, he was in for a long night.
Man,
Yeah.
Adriano might not know who he is anymore after that.
Oh yeah, and for those who don't know, that was Donald Cerrone wins by KO due to head kick in round 1 at 4:40. So that was also knockout of the night.
Yeah, definitely.
Rightfully so.
And Donald Cerrone is now the reigning champion of the night bonuses.
Wow, he passed Chris Lytle.
He passed, I believe,
Anderson Silva and Joe Lozon.
Yep, he's got 13 now.
Wow.
He's an exciting fighter to watch, that's for sure.
Yeah, he's just up and down.
More too.
Yeah.
Well, up and down because, I mean, to answer actually what Damon said before about the Nate Diaz fight, I mean, I mentioned earlier that you guys said that he was getting punched. He was actually getting hit by Martins, and that's because Donald Cerrone just really doesn't have solid boxing defense, and that really showed in the Diaz fight. I mean, Diaz made his face look like, ground beef, basically. I mean, and against these high level fighters, especially against a guy like Anthony Pettis. I mean, we've already seen what Anthony Pettis can do to him. But I mean, I'm just not sure that his boxing defense is really, where it needs to be if he's going to really make a run against the top 5 guys.
Yeah, and it looks like Sugar was right. He was the only one who actually called that one dead on. Got a little grief from Alex for that one, for saying it was going to be Cerrone by TKO in 1.
Yeah.
But
yeah, well, who's got the grief now? Wait, who's on the show now?
Yeah, the ego bruising is definitely hurting the show. We're supposed to have 2 people. that stuff must last for a while.
All right, so any more comments on that one before I recap how we all did?
No.
Great win.
Very impressive.
Yeah.
Okay, Wes went with Donald Cerrone by TKO in 3, got 7 points. Damon went with Cerrone by decision, 4 points. David went with Cerrone by decision, 4 points. I went with Cerrone by sub in 2. I got 4 points. Sugar went with Cerrone by TKO in 1, 10 points. And Alex went with Cerrone by TKO in 2, 7 points. Not too bad, fellas.
Nice.
Like I said, though, you never know which Cerrone shows up.
Yeah.
What's the next fight?
Up next we had Jeremy Stephens versus Darren Elkins. Jeremy Stephens getting the decision win. I believe it was unanimous, right? It had to have been.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, how do you guys feel about that?
Well, I thought Elkins was going to be able to. I picked Elkins for the decision. I thought he was going to be able to utilize his wrestling, but obviously Stephens has been working on some stuff and was able to get that sprawling brawl going and was able to keep Elkins from taking him down and pretty much controlled the fight for the entire fight. I was impressed. Stephens is another one. You never know which one's going to show up, the smart fighter or the guy who just goes out and swings wildly. And he was pretty smart last night.
Yeah, I was a bit disappointed because I actually thought that he did have Elkins injured a couple times and he didn't capitalize on it. So, was it the fact that, he was being a little cautious, or, that Darrell Elkins just wasn't on his game last night? But to me, it looked like Stephens didn't go as aggressive as he maybe should have, because I thought he could have finished him a couple of times. But
if he had more time in the 3rd round, at the end of the 3rd, with that submission hold, who knows? I mean, it quite possibly could have been a sub for Elkins, but
yeah, he looked like he was trying to
know.
adjust.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, man, that's going to go in my pick hall of shame because, I mean, we've seen that Jeremy Stephens definitely has improved his wrestling over his last couple fights, and I mean, Darren Elkins, obviously he's a grinder and he's had a couple great performances, but I just, even though I picked Darren Elkins, I felt going in that Jeremy Stephens was just going to be too powerful for him. And we saw through the whole fight he was backing up Darren Elkins with practically everything he threw,
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Jeremy Stephens, he was a wrestler in high school, and he has 18 UFC fights now, and this guy, he's not a guy that you think, oh, he's susceptible to wrestlers. So I didn't see. I mean, maybe Chad Mendes could take him down for sure, but I didn't see Elkins being able to do that.
How did you guys score the fight?
Sorry?
How did you guys score the fight?
30-27, Stevens.
30-27, Stevens. Yeah.
Same.
Yeah, I missed the third round because I actually was distracted, but yeah, I probably would have scored it the same way because it looked to me straight away from round 1 on that it was all Stevens.
If I'm not mistaken, I think one of the judges gave it 29-28.
Yeah, you're correct.
But I think that's probably because if I had to guess, I'd say it's the third round when Elkins had that submission attempt, but I don't think that was enough to take the round.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, but who knows what these judges are thinking on a lot of things.
Clearly.
Yeah, it's funny when I'm looking at the numbers on this one here. The fight makes it appear that it was a lot closer than what we all envisioned.
Well, again, that's the danger of looking at the numbers, you know.
Yeah. But I guess in that particular fight, since it was so evenly matched, from what it appeared to be, looking at the numbers, that the aggression is probably what won him the fight.
Well, he was definitely moving forward, and I think everything he landed was way more effective than anything Darren Elkins could do. And I mean, look, Darren Elkins was, shooting for double legs from freaking, the field, right?
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, I figured.
So it was like he was putting his hand up. Hey, I'm coming in for the fucking double leg, man.
Yeah, with the signals like the guys on the tarmac use at the airports.
I figured Elkins would try and duck under one of them big overhands that Stevens would do and go for the takedown then, but.
Yeah, I thought that Elkins' game plan was questionable.
He was from way too far out.
Yeah.
Sugar.
I guess he thought he was a frog or something, and just gonna hop over them.
GSP leapfrog takedown.
Yeah.
Sugar was the only one who called that one dead on, man. What do you have to say, Sugar?
Big win for Stevens. With this win, he cracks the top 10, considering Elkins was a top 10 ranked fighter. I think he's gonna get someone tough next, probably like Cub Swanson is maybe in the cards.
Man, that'll be an exciting fight.
Yeah, I keep forgetting that he dropped down the weight class.
Huh?
Yeah, featherweight is still wide open, right? I mean, all these guys drop into featherweight, but I feel like top 10 guys are still something of a revolving door.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely. And also like Dustin Poirier, there's a bunch of good fights for Stevens out there. He cracked the top 10 with this win.
What is Poirier ranked at?
Pretty sure he's in the top 10. Let me see real quick.
He's probably got. I'd put him maybe 8 to 10 range, maybe a little higher, a little bit.
I thought didn't you look that up before? And I thought you said he was 6.
Yeah, he's 6.
Okay, that's understandable.
And where's
Stevens? He's got 3 wins so far.
Elkins was 10.
And where's Cub at?
Cub's
got to be top 5, right? Yeah.
Oh yeah, so maybe that wouldn't be a good fight for him right away then.
I mean, Cub has been on a tear for a while. I wouldn't be surprised if they give him a big fight next, a really big fight.
Yeah, well, Stevens
above a top 5er?
Sorry?
Above a top 5, right, guy?
Well, he's above top 5. He's top 4.
Yeah, he might get the winner of Aldo and Lamas, depending on how that fight goes.
He's been looking like a stud, right? I mean, he's been making guys look foolish.
Yeah.
I think Stevens is probably going to get a pretty high ranked guy. Coming into the division, he's got 3 wins in a row. I mean,
where is he ranked now?
Well, Elkins was 10, so he's probably going to be 10, and I think Poirier is the perfect match.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Rather than Cub.
Yeah, I really think that's.
I think the
Cub would be
fight
good
sounds
for
like
an exciting brawler fight, but and the UFC does sometimes put those together for that reason.
Yeah, but usually not when they're that high ranked, unless they have to.
Yeah, it depends, Sometimes it makes you wonder what the matchmaking. Sometimes it makes perfect sense.
Any other comments on that one?
Way to go, Stevens. I mean, keep going.
Yeah, great performance.
I guess the dropping weight class is the thing he needed to get that jump start going. Get back on track.
Let me recap that one there on our picks. West went with Elkins by decision, 0 points. Damon, the same thing, 0 points. David went with Stevens by TKO on 2, 4 points. I also went with Stevens TKO on 2, 4 points. Sugar, the man, last night went with Stevens by decision, 10 points. And Alex went with Elkins by decision, 0 points.
Cool. The next fight we're going to talk about is actually the fight of the night and the submission of the night. That went to Alex Caceres. I actually got those 2 picks right too, because remember I picked submission of the night for Caceres and fight of the night for this.
I
So
couldn't
that's pretty
remember
awesome.
since the end of that show was so fucking sloppy.
But yeah, he finished them by submission, rear naked choke in the 3rd round with only 21 seconds remaining. What do you guys think about this matchup? I mean, how it went?
I'm not surprised it played out like it did. I also picked Caceres to win. I think only you and I picked Caceres, right? We're the only ones.
Yeah.
I wanted to pick him. I love that kid. I wanted to pick him. I really like him. And, yeah, he's definitely coming out of tough, man. He has improved in leaps and bounds, man.
And he's from Florida.
Yeah. Yeah, he's from Miami here. Yeah.
Yeah, the reason I picked against him was how many losses he's had by submission, and knowing he was going up against the Pettis, even though it was the younger Pettis who hasn't really been tested, but he obviously trains with his brother.
That was my logic as well.
So that's where that pick came from. But yeah, I like Bruce Leroy, and the dude's he could be exciting to watch. I mean, to be honest, I didn't think that was fight of the night.
I'm with you on that, because we were both commenting on that last night. Wes and Alex were raving about that one as fight of the night. I didn't think it was as exciting as Hernandez.
I think it was a knockdown in the 2nd, a submission with only seconds remaining. It was
that
exciting.
was a crazy finish. Come on, man. That was awesome.
Yeah, but
Alex Caceres got knocked down in the finish as well.
Yeah.
Cruikshank got the TKO at 4:59 in round 2.
That was a one-sided fight, though.
Yeah, that was a lopsided beatdown. This was a back and forth battle.
Yep.
Yeah, but you had there was times where Caceres threw he did a spinning kick and then missed, and then Pettis threw 1-2 and he missed, and it was
Well, I'll give you this: for bantamweights, there were moments where it did look sluggish a bit, but but at the same time, they delivered. They were the main event for the prelims, and they like that kind of stuff when the main event delivers.
Yeah, I just wasn't feeling it, because I felt that sluggishness too was going on, and it was I don't know.
Yeah,
well,
Alex Caceres.
I feel like a lot of that was Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Well, I don't know Alex Caceres. I mean, we all know that he likes to look loose and unorthodox like that when he goes out there. But I mean, he was taking way too many punches and strikes.
No.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, his defense wasn't where it needed to be. He was getting countered left and right. And he was clearly the bigger fighter. He was not really using his reach effectively.
Yeah, I didn't understand that. I was like, Jesus, man, you're so much taller, man. Stay on the outside. And
he's not going to get away with that against the higher level bantamweights. And I mean, I think we've seen that in the past.
So how did you guys score round 1?
It was a very close fight. If that went to a decision, I'm not sure Caceres would have taken that.
No.
Yeah.
Round 1 I thought was a clear Pettis round.
Yeah, I think it was round 2 that Pettis got knocked down by Caceres, and other than that, I thought Pettis pretty much had the fight up until the submission at the end.
That's where the whole momentum changed with that knockdown.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not even sure though with that knockdown. It was still a pretty close round.
Yeah, he came back
even with the knockdown, right? He got up pretty quickly.
Yeah, I gave round 2 to Caceres.
Yeah, that knockdown. I mean, anytime you knock a fighter down, you got that scores big points. At least in my eyes. I guess the judges too.
It's not like he pasted him after that either. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, you rock a guy, and Pettis was rocked. He wasn't rocked real bad, but he got knocked down and rocked. But he. And
the 3rd round was pretty close too.
I still don't think it was fight of the night though.
if that had gone to a decision, I think the judges probably would have given the nod to the baby Pettis out of some Pettis love. To be perfectly honest, I wouldn't have been surprised at all if they gave that to Pettis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not necessarily saying he would have deserved it, just saying I feel like that's how the judges would have seen it.
Yeah, looking at the numbers on that one, it was really a close fight. I guess you could make the argument for fight of the night. I didn't see it. I'm in agreement with Damon. I just thought there were other fights that were more exciting. I wasn't on the edge of my fucking seat watching that one, I can tell you that.
So you're going to leave me alone with agreeing with Alex? Thanks, Ben.
Are we trying not to get Alex back on the show?
Well, how come he deserted us today? What the fuck is up with that?
I think we all figured that out.
Man. Those bruised egos, the pain, it lasts.
Are you busting his balls or what?
Somebody should have sent him some ice.
Actually, I just saw this just sent on Twitter. He actually he broke his thumb tweeting.
Yeah.
In the first round.
I don't think he needs the thumb for a video conference type thing.
Yeah, just in case anybody's interested in the numbers on that one. Total strikes 56 of 168 for Bruce Leroy, 49 of 177 for Pettis. So yeah, pretty close.
Slight edge to Bruce Leroy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It didn't really look that way though, right? I mean, like during the fight, it looked like a lot of the fight, Sergey was walking forward and landing straight punches and kicks.
That's what I thought.
Yeah. I mean, they need to have like two different ratings for significant strikes, like significant strike high and significant strike low, because Pettis definitely, his strikes were definitely more effective in the significant range.
See, that's the thing with me though. Were they really? I mean, Pettis was his nose was pretty much a faucet, and Caceres was fine.
But some people don't look at BJ Penn. You know, I mean, he would take shots and he didn't really cut easily or anything like that. I mean, you know, look at a lot of fighters like Sonnen. Sonnen's had so many cuts. All you gotta do is spit on the guy, and it's gonna open up a cut. I mean, when it comes to damage, it really depends on the fighter, the skin type, and everything else, and you know, and previous scars, and so I don't generally go by damage necessarily, unless it's, you know, something like GSP or the Jones fight. You know, Jones hasn't been touched hardly at all, and
But like you said, like in the second round when he got knocked down, Pettis, and then it was back and forth after that, like you guys said. But then as a judge sitting there, one guy's bleeding from his nose all busted up, and the other guy's, you know, just chill.
Yeah.
Well, obviously that doesn't count, because if it did, John Jones would not be sitting with the belt right now.
Yeah.
I guess
it all depends on the judges, because all the judges
obviously
have different, you know, judging criteria. We've seen that over and over.
And that's a problem, right? I mean, because obviously a lot of the times when a guy's face is busted up, it's because he got his ass kicked. But sometimes, you know, one elbow, one grazing punch where the edge of the leather glove just slices you open, right? Yeah. I mean, that may not really change the complexion of the fight all that much, but if a judge is looking at you and your face is covered in blood, you know, all the effective striking in the world might just go out the window.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys remember a fight.
It didn't seem to affect GSP getting wins, though.
Yeah, no, it didn't.
Well, that's the counterexample, right? Obviously. Yeah. Him and, like we said, Sonnen, I think when he beat Marquardt, he was bleeding like a stuck pig.
Yeah. So that was a big win for Bruce Leroy, man. Where does that catapult him in the rankings? Because he's looking good as of late.
He definitely is, but I don't think he's going to be. I don't think they're going to give him like a serious top 10 guy just yet.
No.
He was talking about
kind of shallow.
He was talking in the post-fight presser about wanting to get a top 10, and I'm honestly, as a fan of this guy, I'm afraid of his next fight, because I don't know if he could hang with them like you guys said, but I don't know. Like,
what do you guys think about like maybe a Brad Pickett fight? Maybe.
He's at flyweight now.
Oh, he dropped?
Yeah, he's gonna fight Ian McCall.
Have
of course, yeah.
Have they released the drug test results?
Yeah, right.
He better not get busted again for Herb.
I don't think so. I don't think he would.
No, he said he actually changed his life and his lifestyle around, and he realizes that he wants to be a professional fighter in the UFC, and he's not going to make that same mistake again. So,
he drinks detox now.
Yeah.
So, Sugar, I know you're a big fan of him. Where is he ranked, actually?
He's not in the top 10 or 15, but He's actually with this win, he's practically 7-0 as a bantamweight, as I've explained before.
Mhm.
So
But
he's
who's he fought? You know.
yeah, that's why he's not ranked above. That's why I'm not calling him no top 10 fighter like I said, but
So where would you think he
No,
would
I'm
move up
just
to in the
saying.
rankings, even though he's not ranked within the top 15? Where do you think he would be?
That's it.
well, like I said,
Top-
he could easily get matched up with TJ Dillashaw next,
All
you
right,
know?
that's
And
that's what I was about ready to ask you. Who
that-
do
You
you
think
think
so?
he should fight
that's
next?
yeah, and
I
that's a
think
scary
Dillashaw's
fight.
on.
That's a
Yeah,
scary
Dillashaw's on a totally different level.
I think
his,
Dillashaw's
his
knocking on a
stars-
title
his-
shot.
His stock is going up so quick that
No,
I don't
yeah,
think
Dillashaw
Caceres.
Dillashaw's gonna get someone like Takeya Mitsugaki next, but I'm just saying like
Oh man.
Caceres could get someone good, you know?
Well, let's hope that he doesn't
Not
get it.
Dillashaw. That'd be a major. With
Yeah.
somebody on a upkick like that,
Well,
that
the-
would
the
be
reason-
a major
the reason
penalty
why-
for him.
The reason why I mentioned Dillashaw is because he lost to number 3 ranked the Sun Sao, and he's number 4 or 5. So it's when a guy is like that, when he just lost to a guy that's ranked higher. Sometimes they give him guys like outside the top 15 just to keep hyping him up.
Well, they also the matchmakers look at it. You know, I think Dana White and them look at it as, you know, especially with like a split decision, as you know, he might think T.J. Dillashaw actually won that and is not gonna, because he said it before with fighters, you know, that he got the loss, but he's not gonna count it as a loss to him. It's you know, so I see Dillashaw getting a higher ranked fighter next, and
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah, not only was that the fight of the night, Alex Caceres also got submission of the night, so he walked away with $100K in bonuses.
Yeah, that's a nice chunk of change right there.
that's a lot of weed.
All right, any other comments on that before I wrap up what the picks were?
Great performance.
Yeah.
And
Good fight.
glad for the kid.
I thought Pettis looked really good, you know, up until the seventh.
Yeah, especially early on.
All right, so Wes went with Alex by decision. He got 4 points. Damon went with Pettis by sub and 2, 0 points. David went with Pettis by sub and 2, 0 points. I also went with Pettis by sub and 2, 0 points. Sugar went with Alex Caceres by sub and 2, 7 points. And Alex went with Pettis by sub and 2, 0 points. So once again, Sugar was the man in that pick. Okay,
All right.
moving on to the next one.
Moving on to the next fight, we got Darren Cruikshank versus Mike Rio. Ended in a second round wheel kick and punches knockout. What do you guys think about the fight?
I saw the knockout coming. I did not see the wheel kick coming.
Yeah. I picked Cruikshank by second round TKO, and at the end of the fight, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get it. It was that wheel kick, man, and then he was just controlling Rio,
Yeah.
the entire match. I mean, he looked explosive, like I was saying, even though, you know, I was put down about that.
Yeah.
By
I
Alex,
thought he
but
looked
yeah,
great.
you know,
I thought
he
he
looked
looked great.
explosive and actually came out with the TKO in round 2, just like I predicted. I wish Alex was on here so I could give him shit about
Me
that.
too.
Well, he also went with Cruikshank by TKO too as well. So
Yeah.
But he was kind of bashing on not only Cruikshank but Rio as well.
Yeah, I mean, they're both lower end fighters. I mean, you know, wasn't expecting Cruikshank to make a run for the belt, but in his fights he's looked good. You know.
I thought he looked damn good last night. I was
Yeah,
impressed.
definitely.
Yeah, I like explosive fighters, even if they aren't, you know, because, you know, there's only one belt for each division, and these lower tier fighters, they're still fun to watch, you know. I mean, it's fighting, you know. I mean, not everybody is going to ever get into the top 10, but you know, some of them are exciting fighters. I mean, look at Dan Hardy, you know, he's had a bad record as of late, but people love to watch him fight. he's an exciting fighter.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of some of the mid-tier, bottom the mid-tier UFC fighters like Alex Caceres, for example.
And he would be a low tier guy because of he's not even in what cranked our top 15, so he would be considered, I think, lower tier. But I think he's about ready to get into the mid tier of the fighters. If he gets another win, it depends on who they give him too. I mean, he looks sloppy at times in the fight, quite a bit, and he could have, if a more seasoned fighter was in there, I think they would have capitalized on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So does Rio earn the pink slip as a consolation prize or what?
I think so.
I'm thinking it's likely.
Yeah, I mentioned this to you.
Fight, who knows?
I've mentioned this to you before, Rich. I almost feel like they put these former tough contestant roommates together for a reason, to see which one they're gonna actually get the pink slip to.
Yeah.
Yeah. They've been doing that almost since like season 4.
Yeah, I see that happen way too often. Former roommates, their teammates getting booked against each other. I think it's for a reason.
Yeah.
Well, it's also for people that watch Tough, I mean, it brings back the memories of the season. I mean,
casual fans are a reason to watch.
Yeah.
I was actually hoping that Alex would be here so we could hear what he had to say about this fight. Because damn, I thought he looked pretty damn good.
I could already see it. He would give the who has he beaten argument, and it's just like
no one yet. He's working his way up.
Exactly.
That's why they call it climbing the ladder.
Yep.
Exactly.
All right. So, any more comments on that one, fellas?
Wish you were here, Alex.
Hopefully he doesn't see this, huh?
He's never gonna want to come back, especially with his picks.
Okay, let me recap how we all did on our picks. Wes went with Crookshank by KO in 2, 10 points. Damon did the same thing, 10 points. David went with Mike Rio by sub in 2, 0 points. I thought it was going to go to decision. I got 4 points. Sugar went with Crookshank by TKO 2, 10 points. And Alex also went with Crookshank by TKO on 2 and also got 10 points. Okay, guys, any other comments or anything on that event itself?
Just another judging controversy in MMA. Welcome back to the fight game.
Yeah. I don't know if you guys did picks for the whole event. Sugar went 9-2, I believe, and I went 8-3. How did you guys do?
I just did ones we did.
Yeah, I didn't even check. I know.
Well,
point-wise, I didn't do bad.
Well, you guys are free to join the prediction contest we do. So.
Yeah, I actually did.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to get in on that one for the next one.
But you guys are making me feel like shit on Twitter last night. We go, oh, when the fuck did we fucking pick? It's like, oh, hey, chill out, fellas. I ain't making this shit up. It's documented.
Yeah, on the prediction contest, I guess I got number 2. I went 7-4 with 52 points.
Yeah, that sucks. I fucking picked more correct fights than you, and I placed third.
Only one.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just need to like pick all the wrong fighters or something next time, Rich. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay, the other night bonuses, we went through this as we were going through the event, so let's not spend a whole lot of time on this. Alex Caceres and Sergio Pettis win fight of the night, and each earned a $50,000 bonus for their performance. Both Damon and I think it wasn't warranted. I believe that Wes thought that it was. Sugar, how did you feel?
It was definitely warranted. You don't give fight of the nights to one-sided beatdowns.
Okay.
Nah.
Okay.
But
Let's move
I
on.
think okay, go ahead and move.
Yeah, I'm with you, Damon. I didn't think it was really exciting. I mean,
Yeah, I thought he was so sloppy that it didn't warrant it.
Yeah, I mean, when I consider something to be fight of the night, I think that's a fight where you're actually sitting literally sitting on the edge of your
I
chair.
mean, could you blame him? He was getting kicked. He was getting kicked in the head. Of course, he was sloppy.
Yeah. Over and
but
over
I
again.
just
Man, he got
didn't.
kicked in the head
It
like
didn't
5
have
times.
that wow, that exciting factor to where you're sitting there going, "Oh shit!"
Yeah.
You know, I wasn't.
That's
doing
what I
that.
said when he got that choke. That's literally what I said.
Yeah. Yeah, but you know, fight of night. You know, you get fight of night for something like that.
If it went to a decision, I wouldn't have said, "Oh, that's the fight of the night." I think the submission was really a big key.
Yeah, I think so too.
I really, if I had to pick a fight of the night, I would go with Cerrone and Martins, just because it was such a close fight up until the finish. Even though it was a 1-round fight, that was an exciting fight.
Yeah, and I even thought Hernandez versus Viana or Cruikshank versus Rio was more exciting than that fight. But, you know, again, we all have our preferences. I mean, again, I like to see something exciting that is stimulating. To me, you know, the Pettis-Caceres fight wasn't all that exciting. But let's move on. Alex Caceres also took home submission of the night and earned an additional $50,000 bonus for a total of $100K in bonuses on the night. Not bad for a young man, huh?
No.
Says he wants to invest in Oregon land.
Is that what he said?
Oregon land or Oregon land?
Land from Oregon. Land in Oregon.
Yeah, he said he wanted to invest in something that would grow.
I thought you said Oregon land. I was like,
so he wanted to invest in something
in the underground or what?
Yeah.
So he said he wanted to invest in something that would grow. Was that like a pun? He was intending on buying land out there where he could actually grow some herbal medication?
Sounds like you should have gone with Washington.
Okay,
Maybe
moving
even
on.
Colorado.
So we all agree that was a great submission, right?
Hey, it was a good submission.
Yeah. Okay, moving on. Donald Cowboy Cerrone earned knockout of the night for his head kick finish of Adriano Martins late in round 1.
They haven't found Martins' head yet.
Yeah.
It was his neck. It was his neck.
Neck kick.
Was there anything else that might have been a contender for that? I thought that was well deserved.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't see all the undercard fights, but
the Crookshank wheel kick.
Yeah.
that's true. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, but that was a TKO. That wasn't an actual knockout.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah, like the walk-off.
This was
the walk-off
a
thing was pretty
walk-off,
badass.
Yeah.
Okay, and as I mentioned earlier to you guys, that bonus marked Cerrone's 13th Zuffa fight bonus, setting a new record over Anderson Silva and Joe Lauzon, who each have 12. And
Yeah, he's an exciting fighter. I mean, like I said, you can't stress it enough. It all depends on when Cerrone shows up. I love the guy, but you know, sometimes he makes me cringe.
Yeah.
All right, so let's move on. Final thoughts here, fellas.
When's the next one?
Final thoughts. I wanted to talk about the contingency plan that the UFC has in place in case the Super Bowl is rescheduled and moved to Saturday. I don't know if you guys saw that news, but they've got plans in case the Super Bowl gets moved to Saturday for inclement weather. They will move UFC 169 to Sunday.
Whoa. Mind blowing. My worlds are colliding.
Yeah, I seen that. I think it's a bad idea. I mean, I guess they want the undercard fights to be watched. I mean, the Super Bowl is going to start at what, 5:30?
Well, they're gonna reschedule to go opposite days, is what they were saying.
Yeah, I know what you're saying, but what I'm saying is Super Bowl. I mean, you already got people getting drunk, you know. So if the Super Bowl starts at 5:30, it's going to be over long before 9 o'clock, and I you know, I guess they want to keep it to where the undercard fights are seen as well. But I think, you know, what an exciting night that would be to have the Super Bowl and then to watch the pay-per-view as well. I mean, you've already got the party going, might as well keep it going.
I got one more question for you fellas. I forgot to ask this one to you earlier. How did you all rate that event on a scale of 1 to 10?
6, maybe.
Yeah. 6 is 6 is pushing it even.
Yeah. I mean, there's a
Yeah, I'd
couple.
give it a
I mean, look,
6.
you know,
Yeah, I would say a 6 as well. I'm usually more generous than that, but yeah, I agree.
You have to go by the main event a lot of times, and Henderson just he doesn't look like the Henderson of old. He's
he didn't
too
look like he
safe.
wanted it.
Yeah, he's been too safe, and it's sad because he's got so much potential.
Okay, let's move on. The other final thought topic I wanted to bring up, I don't know if some people have noticed this or not, but I saw yesterday on Twitter that Front Row Brian tweeted out that Ariel Helwani is out at Fox due to some sort of issue between DFW and Lorenzo. Did you guys follow any of that news that was breaking yesterday?
I'd seen you had posted something about it, and I've seen Ariel's tweet in response about everything was okay on that side of the fence. I think he was saying everything's okay on his side. I think maybe Ariel's got other plans or something, maybe?
Yeah,
I don't know what it is, but he said to stay tuned.
He's too good at his job to just be out in the cold, right? I mean, he's got to go. Someone's going to pick him up.
Yeah, and
I think
she's so beautiful. And she's so beautiful is actually the one that's taking his place, apparently.
No complaints about that, I guess.
But that tweet that Damon was referring to, here it is. Appreciate the love very much. It'll all make sense soon, but trust me, all's well on this side of the fence. Time to go cover some fights. So, yeah, as Sugar was mentioning, he was saying that Ariel will probably elaborate on this on the Monday show that Ariel does, but I think he's going to be sublime the way that he tweeted in this tweet here.
Yeah, I think he's got something else going on, and I think that's why this has all happened, and he says it all comes out in time. I think that's kind of code for I've got something in the works, and then
I don't think so, because why wouldn't he attend the scrums and why didn't he get credentialed then?
Well, the scrum was by
Dana White and
the scrum was by invite only, and he
Fertitta
intentionally was not invited.
I think Dana White and Lorenzo Fertitta got wind of what it is, and kind of put a blacklist on him for the event.
Well, I think it had something to do, and this is, I don't know if you guys followed any of this or tried to research any of it, but from what I'm seeing, it seems to be the general consensus out there that this is all related to Ariel Helwani interviewing Bellator fighters within the last week or so, and that seems to be the general consensus on the conspiracy theory as to why Ariel Helwani was not invited to the scrum and is not interviewing the fighters and was handed over to Megan.
That seems silly, but I mean, is he a UFC employee?
No.
He's a Fox employee.
It seems, yeah, that doesn't make sense.
That might as well be a UFC employee, though.
I guess, but it still doesn't make sense to me that they would do that.
Well, if you go to MMAfighting.com, or the site Ariel's from, they've been posting Bellator, because Bellator had like this meeting, like where they had like 12 of their fighters there to be interviewed in photo shoots and whatnot in New York. And Ariel attended this for the first time because a Bellator fighter mentioned something along the lines of, "Hey, this is the first time you come, and we've had a couple of these now." So it's pretty funny how the first time Ariel decides to go to a Bellator meeting.
Yeah, but it may even be that Ariel caught wind of what was going to happen before that and said, "Hey, fuck it, I'm going to, try to find some new horizons here." Maybe he caught wind that maybe he caught wind that he was going to be replaced.
Yeah.
Which I know guys love eye candy and everything, but I think he was much better than Megan was.
Yeah.
By far.
I'm willing to give her a shot.
He answers the best questions.
And it's all how a person interprets the tweet. And to me, what I gather from it is the way he's saying it'll all come out in time, and stuff like that. Is I think he's got something else on the back burner. Who knows? Maybe he'll be calling Bellator fights. You never know.
I saw somebody make that. Was that you that made the comment on the site?
No, I didn't. I seen somebody.
I don't know if he would be up for that because I don't know if that's his forte. Calling fights. Great interviewer. I love him as an interviewer.
Yeah, but could you imagine him being the Joe Rogan of Bellator and
No, I
actually
would
getting
have a
up there and
difficult time.
interviewing
I don't think it's
fighters
Bellator,
afterwards?
guys.
I would have a
I can
difficult
imagine him
time
being better than Joe
envisioning
Rogan.
that.
I don't think it's Bellator, guys, because I watch his show every Monday whenever I can, and he has close ties with Glory Kickboxing. He constantly gets their advertisements for the MMA Hour show. He's constantly mentioning them, and they're with Spike. So maybe it could be a job with them, to be honest
Wow.
with you,
That
from
would
what
be a bummer.
from my
Because then
point
I
of
wouldn't
view.
be seeing Ariel Helwani any longer.
Yeah, and that kind of is like a step down for him,
Yeah.
I would think. Yeah,
Seems like it would be to me, yeah.
I don't know why he would do that. I mean, unless the money's there, but I don't see Ariel Helwani really as being a money man. I mean,
Well, DFW also responded to this, and he's called everybody fucking drama queens and everything like that.
no,
Did
wait,
he really?
Yeah, he says there's nothing fucking going on. All you fucking drama queens out there. But something obviously is happening.
Oh, yeah, he wouldn't be gone if there was nothing going on.
Yeah.
I love when he says that too, though, because obviously he's the drama queen for fucking
Start going off.
putting him on
yeah.
the blacklist or whatever, and
Yeah.
not letting him come to him not being in the press box and everything
Yeah, this
else.
is classic Dana White.
Yeah, well, you know he has a hard-on for not only Bellator, but Viacom and also Spike. So if he did catch wind that Ariel was going to be doing something with ONE FC, I believe is what Sugar said.
No, Glory Kickboxing.
Oh, Glory Kickboxing. Then, yeah, they're Spike affiliated, right?
Yeah, and the money is there because Money Mayweather has attended their last two events.
Yeah, so
Well, yeah, they could be the next big thing.
there's some shit going on somewhere, so I don't think it's so much that everyone's a drama queen. They're just, trying to find out what's going on. That's not being elaborated when you see something like Ariel Helwani is out, not at a scrum, and
Yeah.
not even interviewing the fighters post-fight on UFC on Fox.
Well, Bellator does have that pay-per-view coming up. I mean, maybe Ariel maybe they did get to him, and maybe he's going to become the correspondent for Spike's Kickboxing and Bellator.
Yeah.
Well, like he said, everything will, come to light soon. He didn't
Yeah,
say
we'll
exactly
know.
when, but
We'll know soon enough, I would say.
yeah.
All right, that's all I have for final thoughts. Do you guys have anything for final thoughts?
Yeah, just that I have to run, actually, guys. I'm sorry. I got a couple things I got to get to, but I'll definitely be looking forward to talking to you guys about the next one.
Cool,
Anybody
man.
else?
Yeah. Nah, I
See you
don't
guys
have
later.
anything else to talk about.
All right, guys, thanks for joining me. Appreciate it. And we're gonna do another prediction show for UFC 169, Doral versus Faber. This Wednesday, the 20th. So you all are free to join me for that one too. So go ahead and say goodbye, fellas. It was great. I'm glad you all got together with us and spent the time to do the show.
Cool, man. Nice talking to you, fellas.
It's been fun again. My ego is intact.
Well, hang out, fellas. We'll talk a little bit more if you don't have to run immediately.
No, I don't have to run immediately.
All right, guys. Go ahead and say goodbye. See you all next time.
See ya.
See you later.
Bye-bye.